Hello gorgeous peeps, I'm Chris from TechSpert, and this bad boy here is the Xiaomi Imilab KW66 smartwatch. Very catchy name indeed. Now in the last couple of months we've seen lots of budget friendly smartwatches launched by the likes of Realme and Amazfit, and the Imilab definitely fits into that category. It'll cost you just $50 from the usual online sellers like AliExpress. And the main selling point of Xiaomi's smartwatch is the fact that it offers 30 days of battery life between charges, although if you actually dive into the small print, it looks like about 2 weeks of use is more likely if you actually bother to use any other features. Of course though, to be fair, compared with a lot of smartwatches these days, like the Apple Watch and stuff, which tend to just last a day or two between charges, a fortnight is still pretty damn good, right up there with the likes of the Huawei Watch GT series. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to whip the Imilab out of its box, I'm going to rock it on my wrist for about 24 hours, and I'm going to take you on a full-on tour of the hardware and the software. And for more on the latest greatest tech, please do plug subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! So there is the Imilab KW66 smartwatch. Let's see what you actually get in the rest of the box as well. So you get a quick start guide just telling you how to get the watch all set up and running you through the various features. You actually get a spare silicone strap bundled in the box as well, which is really good. So you get a green one stuck there on the watch to begin with, and then you get a black one in the box, so a bit of an alternative design. And you've got a proprietary USB charger as well. There's no adapter bundled in the box, you'll have to provide your own, otherwise just plug it into a spare USB port on your laptop or whatever. And then when you need to charge your Imilab smartwatch, just basically slap that onto the back, and as you can see it's got a magnetic connection, although not a particularly strong one I would say, certainly not strong enough to actually hold the watch aloft if you were to let go of it. And that's everything that you'll find in the box. So now let's check out the actual watch itself, and I've got to say first impressions are pretty good actually. For just $50 this feels like a more premium smartwatch, definitely along the lines of the likes of the Realme Watch S, which of course costs around sort of £75. The premium vibes definitely helped by the fact that it's got a good little heft to it. It's 54 grams including the casing and the strap, and it's just great to see a smartwatch with that circular design as well, with so many, especially the budgety watches, aping that Apple square format. The actual casing itself is metallic. It's a zinc alloy casing to be completely precise. Then around back it looks like you've basically got a glossy plastic arse end on it. And apparently the Imilab KW66 smartwatch is IP68 water and dust resistant as well, which again is great for this sort of price point. So that means you'll be able to sweat all over it, you'll be able to take it out in a piss and rainstorm, no worries. And touch wood, the watch should be absolutely fine if you submerge it as well, although I did notice on the Imilab website that it said not to take this smartwatch into a steamy environment, so I guess if you're going to hit the sauna or something you want to leave it in your locker. Okay, just going to bang the watch on my wrist now and sort of see how it feels. And again, initial impressions are pretty good. That soft silicone strap certainly feels alright against the skin. The catches are doing a pretty good job of yanking up my my arm hairs, unfortunately, but that's pretty standard. And as you can see, they're not too chunky as well compared with a lot of other smartwatches. Oh, and the Xiaomi watch takes a standard 22mm band as well, so as you can see, you can easily remove the current straps and then slap on your own preferred favourites. Alright, so let's get this Imilab watch all set up, and then, oh, that was quick and easy. Oh, it doesn't look like it needs any proper setup, it's just kind of gone straight into the main menu. And loving the very interesting bit of watch face action there. But to actually get the smartwatch all paired up with your smartphone and everything, what you'll need to do is go to the settings and open up the QR code feature, and then just scan that with your phone, and then that should give us a direct link to the app we need to download from either the App Store or the Google Play Store, or of course you can just go and find it yourself. It's called Glory Fit. And with that downloaded, you've just got to tell the app a little bit more about yourself. I've got no idea how tall I am. Target steps, well thanks to our great mate COVID, I barely even hit the bare minimum here. Right, now hopefully we can get all paired up. Oh, there we go, it's found it. Huzzah! And the next stage is to set all the permissions for the smartwatch. So for instance, do you want it to notify you about any incoming calls and other notifications as well from the likes of Messenger, Gmail, etc. You could also turn on a Do Not Disturb as well, which is quite handy if you're going to be rocking it all night long for a bit of the sleep tracking. And you've got controls over the units as well, whether it's metric or a good old British system. Alright, so I've been rocking the Xiaomi Imilab KW66 on my wrist overnight, and already starting to see some little foibles cropping up, some little telltale signs that yes, it is most definitely a budget smartwatch. But to be fair, that's not to say that I dislike the Imilab, and for $50 it does offer some pretty good features. So let's start with that 1.28-inch IPS screen, which as you can see there isn't surrounded by the thickest bezels in the world for a budget smartwatch. And the screen itself is absolutely fine, not super detailed. Once you get in quite close you can see that images and text is quite pixelated. And the colours aren't exactly going to knock your socks off for being like super vibrant and punchy or anything like that. This is also the smartwatch on the top brightness. You can quickly configure that by swiping down and then tapping this little icon here. As you can see, there are several different stages. On the top level, you will struggle to see it outdoors on a bright sunshiny day, but otherwise it's fine. But zero issues with viewing angles or anything, so you can sort of stare at your wrists surreptitiously from the side, get a sly glance at the time when you're a bit bored in a meeting. You may notice I got rid of the deer watch face, which is a little bit random to say the least. You can change the watch face simply by long pressing it and then swiping left and right. There's a small selection of different options on there already. Alternatively, if you go to the dial center section of the Glory Fit app on your smartphone, you've got a selection of watch faces that you can choose from there. You can sync them up with your smartwatch, just one at a time though. And of course, yeah, it's nowhere near the sort of size of selection that you get on the likes of the Huawei watches or on good old Wear OS, of course. But at least you get sort of a semi-respectable variety. And if you go to custom dial, you can actually create your own watch face. You can either choose a photo from your Google Photos selection or your smartphone album. Otherwise, you can actually take a picture with your camera there and then. So let's do that. And then just crop it to your liking. And then last up, just choose the color of the text that appears at the time and everything. Unfortunately, you can't actually change the layout of the information or exactly what information is displayed on that watch face alongside your own face. And then go and make yourself a cup of tea or potentially a full 3-course meal while it syncs up with your smartwatch. And then here, presto, there is your fresh new watch face. Won't you be the talk of the town? Now, the UI here on this Imilab smartwatch is very straightforward. You can drag down to fast access your settings and main toggles, the likes of course, that screen brightness, which I showed you earlier, and the Find My Phone feature, which is quite handy if your phone's constantly going down the back of the sofa. As you can hear, that just makes your phone vibrate like a Morpho and gives a little tinkly ringtone noise. And you've also got access to the rest of the settings in there, which are very, very limited indeed, to be honest. You can basically reset your smartwatch, you can get some information on it, and of course you've got that QR code which you can use to scan to download the app, and that's pretty much it. If you swipe this away, you'll access your list of apps, which again, very basic and limited compared with a lot of rivals from the likes of Huawei, the likes of your Wear OS apps, all that kind of stuff. You've got your basic fitness tracking stuff, which I'll cover in a bit. You've got a stopwatch, your notification support, and that's basically it. And since, unlike Wear OS smartwatches and the Apple Watch, you can't download fresh apps from an online store or anything. That's basically all you got, take it or leave it. And then flick in the opposite direction and you can see all of your stats at a quick glance. So for instance, number of steps taken, distance and calories burned. You've also got access to your 24-hour heart rate tracking right there. How much sleep you got last night? Apparently I got 7.5 hours. I'll be buggered if I feel like I have. I think that's roughly how long I lay still for, but I probably actually got closer to 6 hours. But then sleep tracking on these things is basic at best usually anyway. You've got fast access to your training through there, and you've also got media controls too. And these are definitely rudimentary controls at best. As you can see, you don't actually see what song is playing or any kind of information on the screen, but the controls do work. So tap play, your music will play. Tap pause, your music will again pause. You can skip tracks, all that good stuff. Otherwise, you can see there's bugger all volume control or anything at all like that, so you are stuck to the more basic stuff. And lastly, if you swipe up from that main watch face, you'll receive your notifications list. As you can see, there are no messages for me. I haven't actually been able to get the notifications to work at all. You're supposed to be able to set this up through, again, the Glory Fit app. If you just go to App Reminder, you can get it all turned on there, grant full access, and then of course see exactly which apps you want to receive notifications from on your wrist. And yet fundamentally it just doesn't work at all. I've played around with app permissions for about an hour or so. I've cleared the app cache, I've done all kinds of stuff to try and get this to work, and nothing seems to help. So this is on the Pixel 4a. It might work on other smartphones, but if you've got a Pixel, chances are it's not gonna sync up nicely. And the Glory Fit app itself, again, bit of a cluttered mess, could definitely use a bit of tender love and care there. But still, besides the notification support, all the other features seem to work fine, including the raise hand to activate display. The smart alarm clock worked a treat this morning. My wrist started buzzing at 7:45, although the haptics aren't exactly earthquake level, let's say. Quite a gentle arousing, so if you're a bit of a deep sleeper, that probably won't work. So on the fitness tracking side of things, it's pretty rudimentary stuff, to be perfectly frank. So of course you've got your heart rate monitoring, 24 hours, just does that automatically when it's on your wrist, and that seems perfectly accurate, to be fair to it. You obviously don't have SpO2 monitoring or anything like that, which would be quite a boon at this sort of price point. The Imilab watch will casually track your steps taken, calories supposedly burned, all that good stuff which I showed you earlier throughout the day. And then at any point, if you want to perform a bit of exercise, you've got 13 different tracking modes. Of course, they are a bit of a strange bunch. So you've got like likes of table tennis, rugby, badminton, baseball, alpinism, not even sure if that's actually a word. But then you do at least have running, walking and cycling on there, which I guess would cover off most of what people are up to. And all this basically does is it tells you exactly how long you've been exercising for, keeps a general look at your heart rate and all that good stuff, and then when you've finished it will log that data and sync it up with your smartphone. As for the actual performance, well, that can obviously be a little bit jittery. Again, for a basic smartwatch, it's really not that bad though, to be fair. It's fairly responsive, that touch screen, so when you swipe, it generally gets it right. The only other quirk that I've noticed is the actual battery meter, which seems to be locked at 100%, which was quite confusing because I was using the smartwatch quite a bit last night, and then I dove online and I discovered that actually it only counts down in 25% increments, so it'll go down to 75%, then 50, then 25, and then dead. You get a 340 milliamp battery stuffed inside of the Imilab watch, which is pretty respectable given the size of this thing. As I said before, the 30 days of battery life seems to be complete bollocks, basically. With mixed general everyday use, they reckon you'll get closer to about 2 weeks of use, which again is pretty damn good. Certainly beats the crap out of having to charge your smartwatch every single night alongside your smartphone, which is what you'll have to do if you get the Apple Watch or most Wear OS devices. So that in a nutshell is Xiaomi's Imilab KW66 budget smartwatch, and as you can see, it's definitely one for casual smartwatch users who prioritize battery life over feature sets, because let's face it, the features are pretty bare bones on this thing, and some of the main stuff like that notifications handling just did not work for me. But you know, the design's really nice. If you can actually get the notifications handling to work, then that's great. It's got the rudimentary fitness stuff on there, the step tracking, distance covered, all that kind of stuff. Though personally, I would say if you've got a little bit of extra cash, just throw it at Realme instead for the new Watch S, which they put out, which is a lot better than this thing. The features are a lot better. You've got more customization options on there too. So that's what I think. It'd be great to hear your own thoughts down in the comments below. Please do plug subscribe, ding that notifications bell, and have yourselves a lovely rest of the week. Cheers everyone, love you.